President Trump had a busy holiday weekend. He surprised people by criticizing Russian President Vladimir Putin and delayed an expected escalation in his trade war with Europe. Joining us now is Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett, host of the Takeout on our streaming channel, CBS News 24/7. Major, good morning.
Morning, Glad.
So let me ask you, a few weeks ago, the president, as part of his Twitter diplomacy, wrote on Twitter, Vladimir, stop, when it came to the escalation in Ukraine. This weekend, he wrote, he's gone absolutely crazy. That's a quote. So what do you make of this harsher, seemingly harsher tone from the president?
That the tone doesn't matter in terms of the trajectory of the war in Ukraine. On April 26th, that is a month and a day ago, President Trump said it was clear that Vladimir Putin was slow-walking all negotiations to obtain a ceasefire. That was a month and a day ago. And a month and a day ago, President Trump said, maybe I should consider banking, meaning seizing assets in Russia, or secondary sanctions. Both of those options have been available to President Trump and his administration since then. They've been available to him his entire presidency, and he hasn't used them. Vladimir Putin knows that Trump has not used any of the tools available to him to economically punish Russia. So it continues. Russia is ramping up the use of North Korean-supplied ballistic missiles and Iranian-supplied drones, overwhelming Ukraine's missile defense and drone defense system, inflicting massive harm on infrastructure and civilians. President Trump keeps complaining about this, and the reaction from the Kremlin today, I think, is telling. It was going to pay no attention, it said, to emotional reactions.
Major, we know that President Trump is quick to speak, even quicker to post on social media. When we hear these threats, do you believe that they have weight, or do you believe these threats are empty?
I don't know if they have weight or they're empty. What I do know is the Russians are not taking them seriously. And they're using every opportunity they have right now to maximize the lethal attacks they can inflict on Ukraine. And that is what is in the Kremlin's greatest interest, inflicting the most harm, ignoring Trump, and proving to Europe and the U.S. government that it can do as it wants to do in this battle space. And it's important to note that the president has not even agreed to release some $3 billion in military assistance that Congress has already approved for Ukraine. By holding that back and not following up with either secondary sanctions or seizing Russian assets, there is no infliction of pain on the Russian government for these actions. And they've gone on for a full month now with the president's full awareness that he is being, if not played, slow-walked by the Russians.
Wow. To be continued for sure. Major, thank you so much. You can watch Major on the Takeout every weekday starting today at 5 o'clock Eastern, streaming on CBS News 24/7.